Network, and you too, America. Thanks so much for joining us today. Mike Costa, Sully, I had to replay that for us.
Oh, thank you.
Because it was
Thank
such
you
a
so
great
much.
memory.
Oh,
And of course, one of our favorite guests in the whole wide world is David Lee, who, guess what, is in studio again?
Yes.
Come on, man. And of course, he brought the, you know, it's always the adult supervision that gets it, isn't it, David? me and David had great conversations on and off the air, on a number of subjects through the air. But when you bring the adult supervision, of course, Bob Brillen is the CFO of the company. Of course, the company I'm speaking about is Iveda Solutions, and it's really smart. It's really smart to talk to smart guys, especially when they're in the AI. Video, smart city technologies business, and of course, you may be listening to us in New York City, you may be driving down the road somewhere across the world, you may be watching us on your couch in Opelika, Alabama, but I can tell you San Diego, where we broadcast from, has been named by several television networks, several periodical sources, as one of the smartest cities in the country. So when I met David Lee, one of their shareholders contacted one of our executive producers, Grave Todoroff, and said, "Hey, you got to get these guys on the air." And of course, you know, we're generally skeptical about those type of, you know, because if Cheryl calls up and says, "Hey, you know, I got this company that you guys ought to talk to."
Yeah.
They do small personal loans and laundromats. You know,
sanitation, disposal.
Yes. So we start looking at this thing, and I realized, oh man, this is pretty significant. So we got a chance to talk to David on a number of occasions, and now we're following the stock pretty closely. So great to have you guys in studio again.
Thanks, Sully.
Where were you last time? The last couple of weeks? I mean, you were never in one place very long. Last time we caught you, was it where again at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, same time in Taiwan, but I was hopping between Philippines, Taiwan, Japan, and Vietnam.
That's right. That's exactly right. I wanted to, and first of all, Bob, thanks very much for coming in. It's always great to have the brains behind the magic. I want to talk to you about smart cities again, because there was a ton of stuff in the news, especially since the hurricane happened, Hurricane Ian in Florida, where smart city technology could have really helped out those cities like Venice, those cities like Fort Myers, not the big cities, but some of the smaller cities, which kind of accentuates the point of what you guys are trying to do all along, and say, look, we need to have smart city needs to be not an, oh, by the way, we're a smart city. It needs to be the gold standard, correct? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. It's always too late when one goes, by the way, we need to have a smart city.
Right.
I've always shared before is it always starts from existing infrastructure.
Right.
So you take what you have, you find the faults and problems with it, and then you apply adequate technology that will help you continue to monitor it. And then over time, during that monitoring, is where you get the data. Data for what? To prevent things that you don't want happening.
Yeah.
So that's what makes smart city.
Right, exactly. And I think we've accentuated the point here on a number of occasions here with respect to how smart city is not just efficient, but they keep us safer at that point. Bob, from a financial perspective, there's a ton of savings too to be had for cities that have adopted to go to smart city and actually use your guys' technology. Is that accurate?
It definitely is accurate. And the biggest part of this is that they're using their already infrastructure. Yeah. So it's not having to put in all new light poles, all new sensors. Sure. It's using what they have.
What do you guys? What do you guys? I mean, when you hear about artificial intelligence, what's the first thing you guys think of up there? Robots? Yeah.
Terminator. Yeah.
There's a couple of misconceptions. Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
What do you think are the main misconceptions about AI technology, artificial intelligence?
Well, again, it's learning. It's that education you're doing in a machine. So it's like, what am I looking for? Well, it's just like what we do on our phone. You know, we say, oh, this person is this name. Well, we've just made that phone smarter.
And the misconception is that it's Orwellian, right?
Yeah.
But that's the same thing we've been talking about with, to your point, our phones are watching us. They're listening to us. And by the way, they are.
They are.
Because if I talk about beer right now, I'm going to get an ad for beer.
Absolutely.
The phone's not even on.
No.
Right.
No.
But so I think that's nascent in our culture right now. I want to talk to you something that we scratched on last time. And by the way, we've got Bob Brillen, the CFO, and of course David Lee, the CEO of Iveda Solutions. IVDA is their stock symbol, and of course you can go to iveda.com. Let's talk about the smart poles, because we only scratched the surface last time. What is a smart pole? What does that mean to us, and why does it matter?
A smart pole really is in place of any existing light pole that we see in our neighborhoods and streets right now. That same pole, leveraging the same existing city power, now has added power metering, monitoring, meaning consumption, utilization of city power. Of course, managing the lights, blinking, turn off, dim. More importantly, given a smart pole, it's adding communications, antennas, extending internet where you didn't have internet before within rural areas from major lines within a city. With communication, one can now talk to IoT devices, sensors, flood meters, temperature meters, environmental sensors.
Real quickly, it's just so I can have for the rest of the audience here. Mike, what's IoT?
In, out, together.
Internet of Things.
Sure.
It's your refrigerator. You can send an email from your fridge.
Oh, that IoT. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
It's. I hate to bring up a horrible subject, but it reminds me of Boston during the Boston bomber. They identified a criminal using smart technology. But I have to go back to Hurricane Ian and those places, like Naples, Florida, and Fort Myers, and Tampa, and Venice, and such like that. The light poles aren't down. I mean, some trees are down, boats are upside down, cars are upside down. The light poles are still up, and the power's going up. Had they had this technology, they'd be up faster, communicating faster and safer. True or false?
True.
Yeah,
Definitely.
True.
So, what's it going to take to get everybody to? I think every city needs to sign up with Iveda. I mean, how do we do that? How do we get the municipalities to mandate this to be a real deal?
I think that everybody just needs to watch the show. So
I think so.
Done.
Yeah.
Hate 'em.
Spread the word.
No, but honestly, I mean, what's the adoption rate on stuff like this? It's got to be giant, and this is an opportunity upon a bad news story. It's still an opportunity right now, correct?
Right. And we're seeing a lot of that opportunity actually happening outside the U.S. quicker than in the U.S. So it's everything comes around.
Right. My question for you guys is, what's next in terms of for you guys over the next? Let's look at the next 6 months versus the next 5 years. What are the directives right away?
We're implementing, right? You're saying this, every city should have this. Well, the cities that are aware are beginning to implement. They're taking one step at a time, right? They're finding where their existing infrastructure. I keep saying that, but what does that mean? Where are our light poles? What's in that neighborhood? What's a threat? And then, of course, cameras. Let's not forget about cameras. We're AI video. So cameras are existing infrastructure everywhere, from malls, city buildings, bus stations, etc. Cities now are beginning to adopt our technology to implement the what we call low-hanging fruits.
Sure.
To begin seeing results and using information to capture crooks, to determine floods before they become danger. These are motivating concerns of other countries that we don't necessarily see every day here.
David,
that's what's bringing it.
Is it as close to real time as well as far as the video when you're talking the cameras?
You bet.
Okay.
You bet. It's nowadays with the internet, where we are in 2022, we can truly say real time.
Gotcha.
And when it's not, Mike, it's a split-second delay.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most excited about Iveda for the next, short term and long term?
We've had a great growth path of just being a company that's doing most of our business in Taiwan. Now with all the projects that we see coming up, we're finally that company that has the money we need to have. We have the hockey stick that can occur with the pipeline.
Well, ever since you met us, the place is going nuts. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Facts is facts.
Luckily I get to spend time with you guys often, and I hope you guys will come back with us together again.
Yeah.
You bet.
Although I'll be talking to you, when you're in Taiwan 2 in the morning. Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
David Lee, Bob Brillen, CEO, CFO, Iveda Solutions. IVDA is their stock symbol. Go to Iveda.